Welcome students in another session of chapter 5 Morphology of Flowering Plants part 2. So in first video we were discussing about parts of flowers. The third part is androecium. It is composed of stamens. Each stamen represents the male reproductive organ. A stamen consists of a stalk, that is a filament, and an anther. Each anther is usually bilobed, and each lobe has two more chambers, and those chambers are known as pollen sacs. Pollen sac contain pollen grains. A sterile stamen, it's called staminode. When stamens are attached to petals, they are known as epipetals. And when stamens are attached to perianth, like in lily, it is known as epiphyllus. If the stamens in a flower are free, is known as polyandrous. Example, you can see it in the lotus. Whereas, if the stamens, like in China rose, they are united, then stamens are known as synandrous. Synandrous stamens are of many types. They are monoadelphous, diadelphous, or polyadelphous. Mono, that means they are united into one bunch. Di, that means they are united to two bundles. And polyadelphous, that means they are united into more than two bundles, like in citrus. There may be variation in the length of filaments within the flower. For example, as you can see on the screen, salvia and mustard. So, the filament size of the filament, the length of the filament may vary. The fourth part of flower is gynoecium. Gynoecium, the other name is pistil, is a female reproductive part of flower and is made up of one or more carpels. The carpel consists of three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma, it is usually at the tip of style and is the receptive surface for pollen grains. Style is an elongated tube that connects ovary to stigma, and third one, that is ovary, which is the basal and large part and which bear ovules, and the other name of ovule is also, they are also known as megasporangium, and they are attached to the flat cushion-like surface which is known as placenta. So ovules are attached to the flat cushion-like surface in the ovary, and that is known as placenta. Polycarpellary pistils are of two types. One, pistils with many carpels are present in a flower, like in lotus and mustard or tomato. Apocarpus, where carpels are free, and syncarpus, where carpels are fused. Apocarpus, the example is lotus, and syncarpus, the example is mustard. Depending on the arrangement of ovules, there is one more term, that is placentation. So placentation is the arrangement of ovules on placenta within the ovary. They are of many types, like marginal, axile, parietal, free central, and basal. The first one, marginal. Here, the placenta forms a ring along the central suture of the ovary. Here you can see in the diagram. And the ovules are borne on its ring, forming two rows. Example is pea plant. The other one is axile, where the placenta is axile and the ovules are attached to it in the multilocular ovary. Example is tomato. China rose, and lemon. The third one is parietal, that means periphery. So ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or in peripheral part. Peripheral part of the ovary. Ovary is one chambered. They are not divided into different chamber, but it becomes two chambered due to formation of false septum. For example, you can see it here. Due to presence of false septum, it looks like it has two chambers. Examples are argemone and mustard. The fourth one is free central. Here, ovules are born on central axis and septas are absent. Example is primrose. The fifth type of placenta is basal placenta, where placenta develops at the base of the ovary and a single ovule is attached to it. Here you can see in the diagram, the single ovule is attached. It doesn't mean only one ovule is present, but singly each and every ovule is attached to the base. Example is marigold and sunflower. After fertilization, the ovules, they develop into seeds and ovary matures into fruit. So that was it about the flower. Now we are moving ahead to learn some semi-technical description of a typical flowering plant. The plant is described beginning with its habit, then vegetative characters, and then floral characters. So when it comes in description, usually plant is described, the first one with the habit, then vegetative characters, and then floral characters. Then a floral diagram and a floral formula is represented. As you can see on your screen, this one is the floral diagram and this indicates the floral formula. We'll learn all the terms one by one. These are the certain symbols that are used in floral formula. When it's written BR, that means bracted. If bract is present in floral formula, we have to use BR. K stands with calyx, C stands with corolla, P stands with perianth, A stands with androecium, G gynoecium, G with line below which indicates superior ovary, G and line above is an inferior ovary. This sign indicates male flower, this sign indicates female flower, and this sign is for bisexual flower. When a flower is actinomorphic, we have to use this sign, and when flower is zygomorphic, we have to use percentage sign. Fusion bracket indicates fusion and connecting line indicates adhesion. In floral formula, fusion is indicated by enclosing the figure with bracket and adhesion by a line drawn about the symbol of the floral parts. Floral formula also shows cohesion and adhesion within parts of whorls and in between whorls. The floral diagrams gives information about the number of parts of flower, their arrangement and their relation. Now here, the bracket, what does this bracket indicates? Here if you go with the gynoecium, in a single ovary there are two locules. So two locules is for this, and within a same ovary, that's why bracket sign is used. So now we'll learn some important families one by one. The first one is Solanaceae. It is large potato family. It is widely distributed in tropics, subtropics, and even temperate zones. vegetative characters. They are mostly herbs, shrubs, and small trees. Stem is herbaceous, rarely woody, aerial, erect, cylindrical, branched, solid or hollow, hairy or glabrous, underground stem in potato. Leaves are alternate, simple, rarely pinnately compound, exstipulated, and venation is reticulate. The floral characters and the floral formula along with the floral diagram is given here. Inflorescence is solitary, axillary, or cymose. Flower is a bisexual, actinomorphic. Calyx is 5 sepals united. That's why bracket is given here. Persistent valvate aestivation. Corolla, petals 5 united, valvate aestivation. Here you can see calyx and corolla, they are united. That's why they are kept in the bracket. Androecium, stamens are 5 apipetalous. Gynoecium, bicalpulary. Syncarpus, that's why bracket is given. Ovary superior, bilocular, placenta swollen with many ovules. Fruits usually berry or capsule. Seeds are many and endospermous. So now let's read about the floral diagram here. This sign indicates mother axis to which the flower is connected to plant, from where the flower is connected to plant. Actinomorphic, yes, it is actinomorphic. Bisexual, that means androecium and gynoecium both are present. Calyx are 5 united. So these are the calyx which are united. Corolla are 5 and united. The other layer is corolla, which are united. Then it shows androecium are 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But what is here? It is connecting link between C and A. That means calyx and corolla. If you observe them, the calyx, the corolla and androecium are connected to each other. Anther is attached with petals. That's why the connecting link line is used here. What are the economic importance? They are used as a food. Example: tomato, brinjal, potato. As a spice, example is chili, medicine, belladonna, ashwagandha. Fumigatory like tobacco, and as an ornamental plants, petunia. The second family is Liliaceae, lily family, a characteristic representative of monocotyledonous plants. It is distributed worldwide. Vegetative characteristic, they are perennial herbs with underground bulbs, combs, rhizomes. Leaves mostly basal, alternate, linear, exstipulated with parallel venation. Floral characters, inflorescence is solitary or cymose, often umbellate clusters. Flowers are bisexual, actinomorphic. Perianth, instead of calyx and corolla, here they have this family is having perianth 3 plus 3, often united into tube, valvate aestivation. This is what the floral formula is. Androecium, it's total 6, but 3 plus 3. Gynoecium is tricarpellary. Syncarpus, ovary superior, trilocular with many ovules. Exile is placentation. Placentation is exile. Fruit is capsule, rarely berry, and seeds are endospermous. So let's see the floral formula and diagram. Bractate, so bract is there. Actinomorphic, bisexual. Instead of calyx and corolla, here they have perianth, but that too 3 plus 3 and united. So 3, 1, 2, 3, they are arranged outside and other one are arranged inside. But all the 3 are connected. That's why they are kept under bracket. Then the second characteristic is androecium, which is also 3 plus 3. So 1, 2, and 3. The filament is long, whereas these 3 have shorter filament. That's why 3 plus 3. As these androeciums are connected to perion, that's why there is a connective sign. Economic importance, they are ornamental like tulips, medicine, aloe vera, vegetables, asparagus, and colchicines like colchium, autumn, nail. So we have learned in this part about description of families, floral diagram, floral chart, also androeciums and characteristic and types of gynoecium. Thanks for watching.